She sold you for a price.
And why have you paid it? I want my mother.
Get to know more about Arryk and Erryk Cargyll, the newly introduced characters in House of the Dragon. The Game of Thrones universe is no stranger to tragedy and moments that would make fans cry their hearts out. Events like the Red Wedding will forever be etched in the memory of anyone who has watched the show. And likewise, the prequel series will also have the stranger come for the people of King's Landing in some sad and nasty ways. While the whole blood and cheese fiasco has been hinted at, the 9th episode has set the stage for another tragedy that will include the twin brothers Erryk and Erryk Cargyll. Sir Erryk was against Aegon Targaryen succeeding King Viserys, but his brother seemed less concerned with such notions.
You tolerated the prince's proclivities for years. Because it was my sworn duty, Arryk. It's for the hand to find wisdom.
In the end, Erryk and Erryk choose opposing sides and remain loyal to their sovereigns. But that does not mean they stop loving each other. Martin's inspiration behind the twin brothers comes from the Arthurian legend of Sir Balin and his brother Balan, who met a similar fate. In this video, we will explore Sir Erryk and Erryk's tragic tale and dive deep into the differences between the book and the show. Let's begin, shall we? Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Listen.
The twin brothers and loyal members of the Kingsguard in House of the Dragon. The 8th episode of House of the Dragon came to a close with an exciting ending. A dying King Viserys mistook Alicent for his daughter, and his words about Aegon the Conqueror's dream are misunderstood by Alicent. She believes in all her heart that Viserys wanted Aegon II to succeed him, and as was expected, the 9th episode starts on a grim note. It's the wee hours, and the castle is rather empty, except for a few knights, servants, and kitchen wenches going about their daily business. The music bellows to us the calamity that has just struck King's Landing. A young boy rushes through the darkness before dawn. He's going somewhere. He makes his way across the corridors and through the halls of the king's home. From the upper floors to the servant quarters and the kitchen, he runs and runs until he finds a young woman, Queen Alicent's handmaiden, only to whisper something into her ears. It's evident by now that Viserys the Peaceful is dead, and the realm is without a sovereign. Much like the books, Alicent keeps her husband's death a secret and wakes up the members of the Green Council. The assembled lords are then informed of the much-awaited but sad news. The likes of Otto Hightower and Tywin Lannister had already been plotting for Aegon's succession, something that had irked Alicent because she had been kept in the dark. Only one voice spoke against the decision: the Master of Coin and Lord Treasurer, Lord Lyman Beesbury. But Sir Criston Cole blew his brains out, in a manner of speaking. But there's one small trouble: the king-to-be, the future Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, is not in his chambers. We all know that Prince Aegon had been prone to perversion and a life of immorality, but no one expected him to be out of the castle walls on a night as important as this one. He had to be found. Sir Otto Hightower speaks to Sir Erryk Cargyll, the prince's sworn protector. However, the prince used his authority as a means to escape from Sir Erryk. Otto sends Sir Erryk to find and bring back Aegon, and also suggests that he should take along his twin brother Arryk Cargyll. Erryk and Erryk were not just similar in their names, but also in how they looked. The near-identical twins would often be mistaken for the other one. Check this out, for instance.
Retention.
Whatever it is, Sir Erryk, you need to wait.
I'm Erryk, Your Grace.
Of course. My apologies, sir.
Nevertheless, Sir Erryk Cargyll, played by Elliot Tittensor, and his twin Arryk, played by Luke Tittensor, begin the search and rescue mission. As instructed by Otto Hightower, the two of them remove their white cloaks and pretend to be common merchants, but their work and demeanor give them away, and someone starts following them. The two brothers reach a fighting pit where young children are made to fight, sometimes to death. Throughout the way, Erryk raises his concerns about Aegon being too young and wild to become king. He tries to convince Arryk of the same, but Arryk doesn't seem to get swayed. Erryk and Arryk had been instructed to bring the king-to-be to Otto, and only Otto. However, Alicent wanted the boy to be brought to her, and hence she sent Aemond and Criston Cole to look for Prince Aegon. Eventually, the twins meet a lady who tells them that the White Worm has Prince Aegon and that he would be released at a price. But of course, the two knights cannot give her what she wants, and the brothers arrange a meeting between Mysaria, the White Worm, and Otto Hightower, who agrees to give her gold and end the child fighting pits. The twins then find their future king, Prince Aegon, hiding in the Great Sept, intoxicated. However, they are interrupted by Criston Cole and Aemond, Alicent, who have come to take Aegon to Alicent. Interestingly enough, in the duel with Sir Cole, only Arryk is the one to fight, while Erryk takes off, well before drawing his sword. While Sir Arryk's fate has been left shrouded in mystery, Sir Erryk helped Prince Rhaenys Targaryen, the queen who never was, to escape from her imprisonment at the hands of Alicent, who wanted Rhaenys to side with the Greens. Episode 9 of House of the Dragon was the first one yet without Rhaenyra. Also, there was no major black player apart from Rhaenys Targaryen, who was at King's Landing. Erryk wanted to take Rhaenys to a ship so that she could leave King's Landing, but Rhaenys wanted her dragon Meleys, and as fate would have it, the two of them get separated by the denizens of King's Landing, who the armed men were shepherding to the dragon pit, where Prince Aegon was to be crowned. Rhaenys got pushed by the crowd and ended up in the dragon pit, where she created a giant mess, showed off her furious and magnificent dragon, and escaped without hurting any of the royal members. But we cannot say the same about the foot soldiers or the small folk. Everything you need to know about Arryk and Erryk Cargyll from the books. We have been noticing that although the HBO show follows the general theme and plot points of George R.R. Martin's work, there are a few subtle differences in the way such events unfold. As per the books, Sir Erryk never served as Prince Aegon's swan sword. In fact, he served Rhaenyra in that capacity. When Sir Howard Strong and Rhaenyra's relationship was questioned, King Viserys replaced the strong man with Sir Erryk Cargyll. Viserys believed that with Howard Strong out of sight, the legitimacy of Rhaenyra's children would also be out of mind. But we all know that was far from true. Nevertheless, Sir Erryk went to Dragonstone with Rhaenyra. After King Viserys' death, Sir Arryk chose to side with the Greens, while his twin brother remained loyal to the Blacks. Later, Sir Arryk swore his sword and life to King Aegon. When the question of Rhaenyra came up before the council, the imbecile king wanted drastic measures, but Grand Maester Orwyle and the two queens at King's Landing advised Aegon against that. He reluctantly sent a peace emissary that included the likes of Grand Maester Orwyle, Sir Gawain Hightower, and Sir Arryk Cargyll. Rhaenyra heard these terms in stony silence, but of course, she did not agree to them. Anyway, when Arryk and Erryk met each other, the brothers knew what it meant. They were going to meet next as enemies and not brothers. The Green Council knew that a living challenger to the throne was a dangerous thing, so Sir Criston Cole decided to send Sir Arryk to Dragonstone in the guise of Sir Erryk, knowing fully well that no one would uncover the plan. Sir Arryk dressed as a fisherman and reached Dragonstone. He assumed his twin's identity and entered the castle. Although it is disputed if Arryk was sent to kill Rhaenyra or her children, we believe he went for the bigger prize and wanted to cut off the root of the rebellion. Before Sir Arryk could do what he had been sent to do, he came face to face with Sir Erryk, who immediately understood what Arryk wanted.
Let us hope for your mother's sake that is not the case.
Is this all the prelude to a sad storyline? The Game of Thrones universe has witnessed far too many tragic events. From the Red Wedding to Queen Emma's labor, there is no lack of horrific fates befalling the small folk and the royals alike. We already made a video about Blood and Cheese, the two assassins who would kill a child before her mother's eyes. And yet, there is another plot point that's equally distressing, if not more. So, when Arryk and Erryk meet each other in Dragonstone, swords are drawn almost immediately. The twins fought each other for the best part of an hour. The clash of their sharp steel was such that the sound awoke half of Queen Rhaenyra's court, and the onlookers could not do much apart from standing by helplessly and watching the two brothers fight for their respective sovereigns. But this was the version recorded by Grand Maester Munkin. The one by our jester Mushroom is nastier, saltier, and shorter. He says that the two brothers declared no love for each other, and in fact, called each other traitors. They blew some serious damage upon each other, and the fight was over as soon as it started. Sir Erryk, standing above his twin on the spiral steps, struck the first mortal blow, a savage downward cut that nearly severed Arryk's arm. But as he collapsed, the fallen twin grabbed his brother's cloak and pulled him close enough to drive a dagger deep into his belly. And that's how, Mushroom says, the brothers died. No matter which one of the accounts one wishes to believe in, one cannot ignore the fact that the two brothers died with glory for a cause that they truly believed in, which is different from the story of Sandor and Gregor Clegane from Game of Thrones. But what makes these deaths truly tragic? Well, for starters, they were good, loyal men who wanted to protect their honor and did not shy away from fighting each other when bound by duty. They did try to convince each other to switch sides, but they were honorable men and not turncloaks. The brothers lost everything that they ever held dear, probably the least of all, their lives. Their misguided sense of loyalty and dragon-sized stubbornness reduced them to just another couple of names in the long list of casualties that came to place because of the whims of rulers. A sad ending indeed. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.
Your attention.
Whatever it is, Sir Arryk, you need to wait.
I'm Erryk, Your Grace.
Of course. My apologies, sir.